Hello. Um, just in my car right now as I am waiting to pick up my son from school. On the way, I called into local St. John's and Red Cross secondhand stores, and I found a couple of things. A couple of things I won't show because they're a bit fiddly, but these two I thought were pretty good finds. First one here is Autobahn by Kraftwerk, the German electronic pioneers, I guess you'd call them, from the I think they started in the 1970s, and this was $2. I think it's a pretty good deal. It looks like it's in pretty good condition. It looks fairly old. So this was released in 1974. I'm not sure about the CD edition, but the album itself was released in 1974. That's a cool album cover, I think. I'm trying to see if it says the year in which the CD was issued, but I can't see it. I'm trying to do this one-handed because I'm holding my phone with my hand as opposed to having a tripod like I usually have. This should be able to. 1 second, sorry. Hang on, maybe I'll pause and do it. That way, better idea. I got it out. Okay, there's not much in here. I've seen that before, actually. I've seen someone wearing a t-shirt with that on it. So there is literally no liner notes whatsoever. Doesn't say, maybe that's on the back. Did I miss that? No? So you have the name of the guy is under the right, so M. Hutta Schneider. But it doesn't say the year the CD was issued. I want to know what. I guess it's not really important at the end of the day, is it? Does it say down there in very little writing? No. Okay, anyway, that was $2. I'm pretty happy with that. Kraftwerk, I think I own a best of compilation of theirs on CD. I also downloaded a lot of their stuff, I remember in the early 2000s when I was kind of getting into electronic music. The other thing is something a little bit different. So it says Ministry of Sound. So if you know anything about Ministry of Sound, I think it started as a nightclub or a club night at various nightclubs of dance music. Well, that's what I associate it with. I might be wrong, but this is supposedly, it's a triple album compilation, and this was $2 as well. It actually said in the shop, it said all CDs $1. This was from the other shop, that was $2, but the first shop I went into said all CDs $1 except single discs only. And so this is a triple disc. So I was waiting to see what she said, and she kind of looked at it and she goes, this shouldn't be $1. And I said, yeah, it's got 3 discs, meaning, $3 is okay. And she said, oh, okay, I'll give it to you for $2. Is that okay? And I said, absolutely. Thank you very much. So it says the most iconic soundtracks in the world, the score. Looks to be in pretty good condition for a cardboard type case. It looks to be in excellent condition. No information there. It has the track listing on the back. So if we look at the track listing, we have various movies. So John Williams, so the composers John Williams, John Barry, Hans Zimmer, James Horner, Danny Elfman, Star Wars, James Bond, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Godfather, Jurassic Park, Lion King, Batman theme, Brian Eno, and Ascending, that's from Traffic, and Ending Ascent. Now what I'm interested to know is this just soundtracks, purely soundtracks, or is this being remixed like techno style because it's Ministry of Sound? It doesn't seem to say anything on it. It doesn't say in any place that it is different. But what down here it says tracks marked with the cross are not the original film soundtrack version. So for example, track 4, the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra Speak Softly Love from Godfather. that apparently is not the original sound. So I guess they've been redone by, in that case, the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. But some of them are the originals because, for example, on disc 2 we have track 5, Vangelis, the love theme from Blade Runner. So what I think it is a pretty decent compilation of movie soundtrack scores and themes of a pretty wide-ranging group of artists. So like I said, there's kind of more modern ones. I can see Moby and, like I said, Brian Eno, Craig Armstrong, Gustavo Santaolo. I've got a few of his things on my favorite list on Spotify. So yeah, I'm interested to listen to that. So as I have said a lot, I collect soundtracks, whereas most CDs I buy because I like the music, or I want to listen to. I'm interested in the music. So for example, I just showed there Kraftwerk. I've listened to Kraftwerk a lot. I like Kraftwerk, and I'm glad I can own one of their CDs, one of their albums. So there's a reason I buy it. I don't just buy things willy-nilly. Generally, there might be every now and then I might, but soundtracks, I've said this a few times, I'm trying to build a soundtrack collection of 90s movies specifically, with a little bit ranging into the 80s and to the early 2000s as well. This obviously is a bit different because this is a compilation, but yeah, I guess I was interested seeing Ministry of Sound and then soundtracks. I was thinking, well, what would that be? But it looks like it's just a soundtrack compilation. For $2, I think that's pretty good. When I was in the store, it's quite funny. When I bought the Kraftwerk album, the guy, it was a young guy, the attendant. They have volunteers at those shops working. They don't get paid generally, and I brought that up, and there was one other album which I haven't shown, and he said, these were literally just put out, like in the last 30 minutes. And I said, yeah, that's how it is in the luck of the draw, which I was talking about last week, how sometimes you just walk into the shop at the right time, right place at right time, and you find they've just put new stock out, or someone just donated the stuff that morning and they put the stock out, or sometimes they sit on the stock, like if the shelves are really full, they'll wait until things have been sold and there's some space free, and then they put the stock from out the back out. So someone may donate a CD 2 or 3 months ago, but it's not put on the shelves until much later, until they have room. So, in that way of thinking, you think, well, I should go check, as much as possible. But yes and no. I don't want it to be like an obsessive thing where I'm going like every week, or multiple times a week or whatever. It gets too much. It's like I said in the other video, sometimes it's just the thrill of the hunt, or just the luck of the draw. That's part of the fun of it, the enjoyment of just thinking, oh, I'm lucky today, I just happened to be where I had to be to get these things. Also, something I was thinking about when I was in there is I don't know if this is a worldwide thing, or maybe it's just where I live, but God, some people, usually when I'm looking at CDs, CDs is not a common thing to look at and to be buying. It's, there's a reason why people get rid of them at secondhand stores, is because people generally don't want them. A lot of people see them as a dead technology, or a dying technology. And so there's usually not a lot of people. Usually I'm the only person looking at the shelves. Every now and then there'll be some other people around. Either I can see kind of collectors just by the way they're buying things, or the thing they're looking for specific things. Some of the people treat the stock like absolute shit. They just smash the things around when they're looking. There was this guy sitting on a chair. I don't know where he got the chair from. So he got a chair, made himself right at home, picking up stacks of CDs, going through them. Each one he looked at, he's like smacking it down the shelf, clack, 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 and then picking up the stack and smashing onto the side of at the, the back corner of the shelf, like kind of saying, okay, I've done that stack, put it there, next one. It's like, geez, mate, they're not yours yet. I know they're only second hand, but take it easy. Like, even if it was, that's I can't stand people who act that way in public in general, but just around, like, in a store, you're not the only person there. Whenever I'm looking, I always try to kind of make room for other people. I always stand to the side, so if it's one shelf, I'm like, there's room enough here for 2 or 3 people if we kind of fit ourselves in. I certainly wouldn't be picking shit up and smashing it down, because who knows who's going to look at it. Maybe people, if you damage it, people won't buy it, and it's just like it's lost money for this charity shop. That kind of stuff really gets on my nerves. Just people going about acting as though like they own the place, and just having no respect for anything or anyone. And I've noticed it a lot in secondhand stores. There's almost this kind of person that those stores attract, and maybe that person's me. Who knows? But I'm not trying to denigrate anyone, because most people are just the same as I am, or any other kind of normal person that's just looking for a bargain. But there's a certain kind of person who's like, I don't know, desperately looking to kind of get the cheapest thing they can, and searching really hard, and don't care who they fuck over to get it. And once I was in this store out West Auckland, which is kind of quite far from where I live, and there was this woman had picked up a pair of sunglasses, or I think it was at a Salvation Army store, and this woman had picked up a pair of sunglasses from behind the counter. So obviously they were pricing them, ready to put them out. And she's like, oh, can I have these? I want to buy these. And I'm like, well, we haven't priced them yet. And she's like, oh, I'll give you $5. And I think they were branded. They were like Gucci or something, like kind of some kind of luxury brand. They're like, oh, we want to research, online first before we price them, because they might be quite expensive. And she's like, oh, no, they're not. Just trying to argue, basically trying to steal sunglasses off the shop. It's like, it's a charity shop. They're there trying to make money for, goodwill charities, helping other people. Anyway, I guess that's a bit of a rant about some of the dramas you come across in daily life while going through secondhand stores. Anyway, thanks for watching my video filmed from the car.